Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Screaming. Welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Witch Queen Season of Plunder intel. And today we're going to be discussing something I like to revisit every season, at least once. And since we are getting towards the end of Season of Plunder, I thought this would be a good time. Full disclosure, what we're going to be doing is I will be sharing with you my best picks for the free exotics that are currently available in D2. And then, of course, all the best ways to acquire these said exotics, some of which will require Spoils of Conquest. That is a tough item to come by for solo players, so of course we will be doing some glitching. The back half of this video will be completely devoted to those glitches that will net you Spoils of Conquest each and every week as a solo player. If that's something you're interested in, you don't really need my rundown or my picks of the best free exotics to get, then go ahead and skip ahead. But now we will just head over to the exotic archive in the tower, and I'll give you my best picks for each season. We got the Red War exotics. Best picks here for me would be Outbreak Perfected and Sleeper Simulant. Now, Sleeper Simulant is kind of being overshadowed at the moment with all the legendary linear fusion rifles, but it's still a great one to have. And Outbreak Perfected is currently also in the Champions meta, which is why I would say pick it up. And there's also a lot of usability for this in Grandmasters and such endgame activities like that. Everything else, I would say you could skip for the moment. Legend of Acreus is the only maybe other weapon currently in this group that I would maybe take a look at, just because it does require Spoils of Conquest and we are in the Arc 3.0 meta. Currently, even though I don't use this weapon that often, I could see it pairing well with some Arc 3.0 builds. In the Forsaken exotics, probably the best group of exotics, in my opinion. We have a whole bunch of standouts. We have the Ace of Spades, good for PvP. We have the Last Word, great for PvP. Maybe not the meta at the moment, but always good ones to have. Le Monarch also isn't bad for both PvP and PvE because of the poison dart, or the poison arrow. Jotun, in my opinion, one of the most overlooked weapons for PvE because of probably its bad reputation in PvP, but one of my favorites to pair with Solar 3.0 builds. Interesting, unique weapon, one of the most unique weapons probably in D2, so definitely pick it up if you don't have it. Izanagi's Burden, also sort of like the Jotun, great when the meta is playing towards its strengths, though it is good to have at all times. Never a bad weapon to pick up. One of the most unique weapons in the game. Looks awesome, good for PvP and PvE. If you ever did Garden of Salvation, it was a go-to. Maybe overshadowed a little bit at the moment by legendary fusion rifles as well, or linear fusion rifles, excuse me. Thorn and Lumina, brother-sister weapons. I never really find a place to use these. The Thorn was one of my favorite PvP weapons in D1, but not in D2. Maybe I'm just using it wrong. Luna is good for survivability builds. I've seen it used in Duality Dungeon quite a bit. Truth, I would skip. Bad Juju, can't find the place. The Anarchy is one of the best weapons to get. Always a weapon that finds its way to break something. It gets stealth buffed on occasion, like it did twice over the last 6 months, and you do crazy boss damage with it. Maybe not the go-to for boss damage at the moment, but certainly a great one to have, and you never know when it's going to break the game. Again, Teraba, I think, also plays pretty good with Solar 3.0 builds, though not one of my go-tos. This, the Always on Time, is actually one of the best pieces of equipment that you can get. It's faster and takes less damage than all other sparrows. Actually, one of the most unique sparrows in the game, though it doesn't really look that way. But if you have everything else, I would actually say take the time to farm out the materials to get Always on Time. Also, one of the other things that requires Spoils of Conquest, like the Anarchy, as well as the Teraba. Everything else can be acquired through materials either in the tower or from Zur. wherever he appears on a given weekend. For Shadowkeep exotics, the standouts to me would be the Wither Horde, definitely a must-have. Always good for PvE. It's good in PvP too, but never out of the meta entirely. And when it is the meta, it's next level, definitely S tier. Ruinous Effigy is a unique weapon. I don't really know how it plays right now, but there was some really fun GM glitching you could do with this when it was new and doing, I think, significantly more damage. You never know. Maybe it'll come back. This is a very usable weapon, the Ariana's Vow, because it's sort of a sniper rifle hand cannon. Great for barrier champions because you don't need to bring a barrier mod. Definitely pick it up if you don't have it. Bastion used to be one of my favorites for PvP, though I haven't really found the place to use it. Currently, it just seems a little bit too slow. Maybe when the damage drops a little bit and the times to kill become a little bit slower. Leviathan's Breath is also an interesting heavy weapon. It certainly does a lot of damage, though. I think you would pick other things like linear fusion rifles at the moment. Beyond light exotics, I believe the standout would be the Aegir Scepter, just because of stasis builds with the Warlock and Bleak Watcher. You can get your grenade back really, really quick. But other than that, I don't think really anything else here is worth writing home about. Maybe the duality. For Witch Queen, we have the Trespasser, which I'm sure plays fairly well with Arc 3.0 builds. I've also seen some pretty interesting builds with the Grand Overture, though I don't really use these weapons myself. For a heavy machine gun, instead of using the Grand Overture, I would probably use something like a Thunderlord, but certainly an interesting weapon. We have the Quicksilver Storm for Lightfall exotics, which already broke the game quite a bit. Like the heavy weapon, Grand Overture, on this page, it kind of has a rocket launcher aesthetic. This was sort of a heavy machine gun that shoots rockets, and this is sort of a auto rifle that shoots rockets. I could see this being a real problem, especially given the fact that it broke a lot of stuff just on its release. You need Lightfall in order to actually acquire this exotic now. By buying the or pre-ordering the expansion, you will gain access to it. But I don't really know if it's actually even available to use at the moment. I think it might have been disabled, or at least it was at one point. Maybe it's back in the game. But I could see this weapon being a lot of fun, especially come Lightfall time. For Legacy gear, the only thing that, if you don't have it, I would get is Mountaintop, just because it's good for some out-of-bounds glitching with Heat Rising. You can get some super jumps going on the Warlock. But beyond that, other than if you're looking for some nostalgia or some very unique stuff to use in PvP, nothing here. Though they are great, is really something that I would say you need to have, especially if you're new to the game. Now, as I said, materials for all of these weapons, except for Spoils of Conquest, can be acquired in the tower from Master Raoul or from Banshee 44, or doing the exchange there if you need. Actually, I don't even think you need to go to Banshee 44. You just need to go to Master Raoul. He'll have the exchange for materials. If you're looking for things like Ascendant Shards or Enhancement Cores, just farm low-level Nightfall Strikes. You can do them on Heroic in matchmaking. If you're looking for Legendary Shards, sort of those base-tier materials to just maybe rank up and buy some of the other stuff, you can actually go to Amanda Holiday, and there is a very unique thing you can do only with Amanda Holiday. I think there needs to be more stuff like this, and you actually have Amanda Holiday be sort of another exchange NPC. But in this case, if you go to your collections tab, and you go to Flare, you go to Transmat Effects, go all the way down to the bottom. Find some blue transmat effects and acquire them. They're 1,000 glimmer. Once you get 3, you can acquire more, obviously, but once you have 3, go over to Amanda Holiday, and she'll allow you to reconfigure your flare for 1 legendary transmat effect. You then go to your inventory, go down to your second page, dismantle said transmat effect, and you get some glimmer back as well as 1 legendary shard. So that's a way of farming out some base level stats if you need. And that's going to be it for all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful, or maybe you just enjoyed hearing the sound of my voice and my opinions on some of these exotics today. The rest of this video, like I said, will be devoted specifically to farming out Spoils of Conquest as a solo player. So I'm going to be sharing with you every single raid chest, secret chest that any solo player can get. Some of them are a little easy, some of them are a little bit more difficult, but all repeatable every week on at least 1 character, some of them on all 3 characters. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 Witch Queen content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter, and any of those things I just mentioned also enter you into any future giveaways on this YouTube channel, and we do one every 1,000 subscribers, so of course you never want to miss out. And if you've watched to this point in the video, you can leave a hashtag Witch Queen or a hashtag Free Exotics or a hashtag Season of Plunder in the comment section down below. We'll give you another entry into the next giveaway for this video. And remember, I do that in all videos, so if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, you can always go back, check out another video, and of course do it again. Hopefully you stick around to the end for all the Spoils of Conquest, but until the next time, once more, I am Wilhelm Scream, and of course, everybody have a wonderful day. Little